Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's get on into this one. Lick Windows, Radical Rhino. It's the last shot in Zoom DR, making up your North Georgia squad. Fisher College, consisting of Maskey, Rhett, Sparty McFly, and Daylight. Nice double to start this one off, as the last shot doesn't need all four to find that triple kill, the no-scope on top.
What a play there from last shot. That triple kill, I mean, that's not the last time we're going to see him do something like that. I expect to see a lot of big plays out of last shot with that sniper. That's something Fisher's going to want to try and keep out of his hands, is that sniper rifle. And just back and forth, they were playing for the active camo, which this is going to be really crucial on the map. That active camo allows you to go completely invisible. The opposing team will not know where you are. So having that sneaking around your ball carrier, and interesting player to give the ball to the active camo player, but now we got,
I believe the intention was to exchange the sniper right there. First shot, looking for the second lick. Windows got that glass busted. Now it's grenade damage on front, and a great job for that trade. Why exactly was that such a great play, Nos?
I think it was just a great play to keep the momentum on the side of Fisher here, keeping the numbers down, keeping them staggered. That's a big thing too. You want to make, if you can get the team that consistently just rotating their spawns, keeping all of them on a different spawn timer, they're never going to be able to take a team fight.
I hear you. Daylight sliding in to try and find another trade, but the melee will not land. And progress getting accrued mostly the way of Fisher as of right now. Positioning coming in here as this ball is looking for a home. Both shots done from that sniper, so no more from that one. Sparty McFly, nor last shot, can get through that one. It's 2 down here for North Georgia as Fisher tries to get ball inside garage.
Yeah, and I'd like to see North Georgia here try and play their lives a little bit, get together and make a team play. I think that's going to be their best bet, honestly, this whole series. Given the firepower that Fisher has on paper, these two younger, newer players on the UNG roster are really going to have to play around last shot and Zoom. What a play there by Zoom.
Nicely done, Rhett. Doing a fantastic job. Holding up the teammate now on board. Another player, this is Daylight we're looking at right now. Teammates will be around here, and I have to wonder if this ball is gonna, yeah, there's the full movement right now. We have a full-on ball migration from over there. Now, will they get upside? They should be able to, and now they're gonna hang out here by dummies or try and go for Sniper Tower. It looks like Sniper Tower, Nos.
Yeah, and right now we see a 3v3 on the map, just going back and forth. We're really waiting to see who can get a first 3 down. We're seeing UNG grab the camo. This is going to be big for them. This is absolutely massive. 3 down for Fisher. Looking for a little momentum swing in North Georgia here, but now it's just last shot up. Trying to play for that sniper. If he can get this in his hands, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit how that kind of like best of 3 sort of works within this ball round, right? We're kind of in the middle meat of this one, so I want to let the people know what to expect.
Yeah, so the way the oddball works, there's 3 rounds at the beginning. Each team starts in the A and the B spawns, and then after the first round, they'll flip. And then if we go to a 3rd round, it'll go back to the original. And honestly, I feel like the team that spawns on Cobra has an advantage because they have the height advantage when it comes to that sniper rifle. So getting that sniper rifle off rip will give you an early advantage if you play it correctly.
Yeah, so kind of like a best of 3 format within this larger best of 7. What a fantastic pulse off the side. It's last shot. We'll see you later. Full sniper in hand here for Sparty McFly. Now, is this Sparty McFly like Spartan, the HCS player?
Yes, this is
Oh,
Spartan,
wow,
okay.
okay.
Yep.
That's what I figured. Okay, fantastic. I'm the one behind a little bit. Nice, no scope. A fantastic job now swapping back and forth to try and have that sniper even more available. Lick Windows taken down as Daylight comes in for the teammate. A fantastic run with this longer range sniper. Looking behind columns. Doesn't even need the help, Nos.
Yeah, and I think Sparty there on Rat Tunnel was just trying to clip farm a little bit, going for any type of no-scope headshot he can get. I don't blame him. You know, you gotta get those clips in.
Hey, main stage, baby, main stage.
Gotta love
now,
it.
This is Rhett, like Rhett the Sweat? Like the played a bunch of COD as well?
I think so. I think
okay, I know much more of this roster than I thought I did before, and I believe Baski's played in some HSCL that I did at one point. So, not quite as sure about that, but I know Red and I know Sparty. Nonetheless, sorry, just trying to talk out the last little bit of that one. Now, once again, this is a best of 3 format within the ball round. What we're taking a look at is the next ball round. You got to take the best out of 3 here.
Yep, and I'm really looking. I'm curious to see who's going to grab that sniper rifle first. You know, I really harp on that a lot on this map, but honestly, a lot of the game-changing plays is made with that sniper rifle. I'm
Barely
I'm
getting out.
surprised Sparty doesn't grab it there.
Opting to
Camo is coming up too.
Opting to stay life. Maybe that's going to be where the idea is. No, gets up with the teammate. Doesn't even need the help. It is no scope central here on live fire.
And it looks like Fisher's kind of trying to bait this camo a little bit, which, you know, honestly isn't an uncommon play if you're in a position where you're pretty much guaranteed the camo, but it looks like Rhett does end up grabbing it there.
Only 6 points accrued so far for the Fisher Tea Party. Love the name, by the way. Last shot, finds something on the outside.
Little bullet ricochet there.
Yeah, so what? This is just trying to waste the ammo out. Oh my goodness, another
play.
no scope! Somebody finally put this man down.
Yeah, and the reason you see him wasting those sniper bullets there is often when high-level players, when they feel like they're going to lose that sniper rifle, you don't want to give it into the other team's
Makes
hands.
sense.
So you're
Makes
just trying to
resources.
waste that ammo.
It's all about resources. It may seem face value, very basic, and you know, shoot other player, take ball, right? But it is resource denial is a high-level strat in any esport, any competition really that you go forth and play. It doesn't really matter the esport, right?
Yeah, no, you always want to deny the other team those resources. You don't want to give them the power weapons or any advantage on the map. And speaking of advantage, I think now we have an advantage for North Georgia finally, as they start to rack up some ball time.
Love it, love it.
Oh, first stick of the day from Sparty. Gotta love those stick plays.
Ball sitting on the outside. That's Mayski's as of right now, taking a little bit of flack, and now forced to back up. That was Daylight sending that flack across. I don't think they played ball. No, they did play ball. It'll be reset, right?
Yeah. I don't think the ball did reset. I think it is still stuck
excuse me.
the B side. Yeah, it's still stuck down there, I think.
Lick Windows taken down by a shot.
My apologies.
Other player getting taken down by a spike grenade. No big deal. Now this ball running quickly as if it had legs on over to this garage side. Now this will be an eventual rotation on over to the more open side if they do want to toss this off, right?
Yeah, ideally here they'll probably end up rotating it towards B because it seems that Fisher has the dummy side spawners, but it's going to be hard when you have Red on the top mid there getting some shots and getting a kill in the back, but last shot able to clean them up. The battle for the camo starts.
Nice, 2 tempted sticks. The first one actually ended up being a little bit more effective than the second one. Good job for members of Fisher getting away from the source of danger. Mild advantage now garnered here for Fisher Tea Party, but battling back is North Georgia because they are not out of this one yet. Now beating feet on over towards that green area. Again, an area that is very easy to just toss this ball off.
Whenever you see it there.
Quick little 5. Sparty catching flack from 2 different sides, and that's a great job from North Georgia.
That's
just
4 down.
Collapsing that one all the way down. I believe that's the first 4 down we've seen for Fisher so far, right?
I believe so. I think the most we've seen prior to that was a 3 down.
Lick Windows on board right now. Mostly a Phil sniper, so this will help him.
Whoa.
Oh man, Sparty eating some lead across the middle. Sniper rifle shots indeed. The reload does come in, so a full 4 ready, and Daylight down on the other side of the scopes.
Yeah, and I think we're going to finally, maybe, I don't want to cast a curse, but maybe see a lead here for North Georgia as Lick Windows gets another snipe. He's going insane on a killing spree.
Gave him 2. Repulse as well.
What a play. This guy's going insane right now.
Oh my goodness, another one. The throw comes off. Is that a reset? It is. Only 1 shot left on this, and I'm not sure if that player wants to be on the other side. No, okay, you can't do it 3 times.
I'm loving these plays out of Lick Windows. This is a guy that was completely new to the game at the start, and all of his teammates at UNG have been, playing ranked with him, teaching him the game, and he's just getting progressively better as the season goes on. Yeah,
somebody who's not really gotten as involved in the slaying department there, Radical Rhino. Now, did you say it was Lick Windows who's the newer player?
His jersey said earlier when we were doing pictures Sassy, and I imagine maybe there were some account issues there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that is the new player that was the emergency sub for Killjoy.
Understood. Especially with a lot of objective time right there, it would simply make sense for them to protect this player a little bit more and allow them to play these objectives more so when one of those roles is required. So fantastic job for them filling in right here. I mean, even for eliminations against HCS players, right? Players who are just playing in the highest championship in the land, right? I think I'd still take some of these home happy.
Oh, for sure.
And not that this is over by any means, I'm just clarifying.
No, I'm actually really impressed with how UNG's been able to keep in this game and forcing Fisher to have to
jump. Is he gonna try and do it? Okay. Whenever somebody does this, I honestly get a little bit angry because I've never been able to do it. Like to jump onto the platform right above there.
Yeah, I'm slowly starting to master it. I haven't myself.
Yep.
Actually mastered
well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
There you go. Misery truly does love company, people. We're looking at Mayski's as of right now, sitting pretty. 20 and 13, looking for 21.
Yeah, and we also see Sparty at 20 and 13 as well. And it's the last shot, 27 and 18 right now, having an absolute game. Fisher nears the first map win here.
Yeah, the last time we really checked in on the... Oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said they're just only needing 15 more seconds, and this first map is in the hands of Fisher.
First ball round going that way as well, and honestly, this is Fisher who's completely willing to trade this one all the way out as well, right? Why wouldn't you? At this point, yep, trade eliminations all the way through, finds 2!
What a play, what a play.
Okay, so one's the kill, one's the assist, but neither happens without that well-placed frag grenade, Nos.
Yeah, I think that's a really high-level skill play there to know to shoot the nade. You get both those players one shot, and it's just boom, boom, one pick, and that's an easy double kill for you.
So it is indeed. Fisher going to be taken down this round number 1, right, in 2-0 fashion. The first round was a little bit more back and forth. The second one was a little bit more definitive after that first half, right? That was really, really a situation where I felt like North Georgia had a lot to contend for right there, and not really that much to worry about in the second round, but quickly that wiggle room did be squandered away. That is Sparty. Yeah, there you go. I casted that guy like 5 years ago in Philadelphia. Like before COVID, it just feels like so long ago, right? Oh well, sorry.
Time flies.
It really does. It really does. See, right? They have chosen to come in here and compete, and they're competing against some of the best right now. Now, personally, what is a specific method that you think you would employ here as we get into Solitude to keep a player that may not have as much experience at this top level of Halo in more of like a protected position, in a position that they can go forth and employ success for their team still? What would you do?
So what I like to do a lot for my college team, I tell them, just stay as a group, stay at least with one other person, ideally stay as a group of 4, and just play off each other's damage. A 1v4, that guy's not gonna win it. This isn't Valorant where you can just click headshots all around. It's a long time to kill here, so just honestly sticking together, watching each other's backs, that's gonna be the best thing that UNG can do right now.
Great collusion of the kill on that one between this active camo player. Oh, did get sticks, next stick of the day, and that's gonna really, really ruin the rest of that active camo. Taking a look at the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? 3-1 as of right now. Zoom DR going to be the highest KD on that side. 2-2, okay, yeah, 1-1. Pretty much evens until Macy's finds this one. And we're looking at Macy's right now, really just ploying their complete influence over the top of that map until they're forced to drop down. And it seemed like whenever they stayed up, everything was going well for this Fisher squad.
Yeah, I'm interested to see there. We saw for a little bit kind of a 2-2 play, and the 2 newer players were playing off on the other side of the map, allowing a last shot and Zoom to just play off each other. And it seems to be working right now because UNG has an 11-8 lead on Fisher.
Woo! 6-2, the last shot popping off right now, tripling up in this one. Radical Rhino gets taken down by a perfect right there. That's got to feel so aggravating when you have HCS players perfectly 4-shotting you, right?
Yeah, and I think I might have given him a little bit of a caster curse there because now Fisher's in the lead here, but it's definitely tough when you're new to the game and you're having just, pro players just
like quite literally pro players. You can look at their winnings, folks. I think that says everything, right? But hey, Radical Rhino. I mean, we talked about this constantly, and we're not 100% sure of what their tag is. You said it was
Sassy, I believe.
Sassy, okay.
On the jersey, it said Sassy.
Yep, gotcha. So 2-4 is still not too shabby in a TDM, right? They were way negative earlier in a team mode where it didn't matter if you died.
Yeah, I'm really looking, out of a player like Radical Rhino, I want to see more assists. He's got a 0 in the assists right now, but the best thing you can do as a lower-end Slayer is just play your life more, play on the geometry of the map, kind of like Rhett was doing right there, and just putting in damage, allowing last shot, allowing Zoom, even Windows to just pick off those kills for you.
Seems like every time we swap on over to Windows, not as much in this game, but definitely in the second and the previous one, he was cleaning up somebody else's kill. So there's always that kind of situation.
Ninja,
hey, a little ninja, and we heard somebody screaming on stage after that one. A great job, man, a great job.
Yeah, we love to hear the passion on the stage. I love that I can hear it up here from the broadcast booth. I love to hear it. I love that stuff so much. The camo finally runs out for Mayski. Maybe that clip farming will finally come to an end, but who knows? There's the passion again.
Nice. Sparty with that perfect right now. Got that shock rifle. Now talk to me a little bit exactly how this is different from your more traditional sniper rifle, Nas.
Yeah, so the shock rifle is a little bit harder to get a head. I mean, if you hit body shots with this gun, it's virtually doing nothing. You got to hit a perfect headshot, and the way this gun works, it's almost like 3 bullets that are traveling all at once. All 3 of those have to hit the head for it to be a kill, and if you get that, you're going to get a nice perfect And I think in the last 2 updates, they actually nerfed the aim assist that is on this gun, so it made it even harder to get a headshot.
I feel like that's reasonable, right? This was
Yeah.
straight up magnetism, and it ain't hard to put nickel together, man. Now, this can also hit the ground and provide like some AoE damage, is that correct?
Yeah, it can. Honestly, a lot on strongholds, and I believe King of the Hill on the little pad that signifies that you're in the zone. You can shoot that with any type of the disruptor or the shock rifle, and it'll transfer an electric shock around the ground and do damage to other players.
The disruptor being that electric pistol, essentially, right?
Yes, which I believe
Gotcha.
it is on this map in the yard on one of the weapon pads.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we may see that one a little bit. Hey, why not go in with the best selection of hardware that you can go into with any team fight? Hey, it's a killing spree now for the last shot. Can't quite get the 6th on that one. Taking a look right now onto Daylight. No, excuse me, onto Zoom.
I like this camo play out of him to try and stay alive here.
Oh, there's
Get
2
this
down
last
there.
shot, he gets the last shot, but then he's
Oh,
got team
man.
help there. It was a really nice way to see him play those pillars, and like I said, playing the geometry. And you really want to stay, ideally on this map, you want to stay off the bottom of the map. It's honestly a death trap in any of these maps. Just stay off the bottom of the map. It's a death trap.
Mayski's letting them know right there that perfect means something personal to him. As you said, members just trying, scrapping, clawing, scratching to try and get onto the 2nd level of this. Like so frequently, especially when your opponents are like living up there, spawning up there, and raining from up there, it's just gonna be so hard to ascend levels.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned Mayski a little bit there with the passion and whatnot. A nice little story I didn't get to mention earlier. If we go way back to the start of Halo Infinite, Last Shot and Mayski used to be on a team together in the amateur scene.
Yes, sir.
So definitely expect to see some body disrespect going on from those two, some screaming back and forth. I'm willing to bet a lot of those screams we're hearing is Mason down there, so definitely keep an eye on that.
Letting them know, hey, we played together at one point. That was in the past, my friend. Active, and that sniper rifle coming up here in just a little bit. Pulse rifle, right?
Yeah, and I think UNG needs one more to prevent a stake-tacular from happening. I'm not sure. I think 31 just barely denied Fisher the stake-tacular, which is good. You never want to get staked in a
Don't want to get
Slayer.
staked.
No.
Don't want to get staked,
That gives you at
obviously.
least some hope that if you can avoid the stake-tacular, there's some hope later down the line.
There you go. And see right now, yep, that's Red right there. And Mace, yep, that's exactly who I thought it was. What's going on, boys? What's going on, boys? It's been a while. Taking a look at Fisher, up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. University of North Georgia, the defending champions right here, albeit not full starting roster, and getting a player on in here who's honestly not doing that. I mean, started out, I believe, 2-1 on this one. Not sure exactly how much more assist KD. I didn't quite check exactly where it was that finished out right now. But the simple fact that they're getting to play right now against Halo Pros and putting up any kills, I think is really, really indicative of just how good they're doing based on expectations, right?
Yeah.
Not the HCS level expectations necessarily for that player.
So for Aquarius, this is a unique map when it comes to capture the flag. It's gonna be a 5-cap. None of these other maps are 5-cap at all. So we're getting into this now. But I'm curious to see what kind of flag routes these teams are going to be taking. Ideally, you want to take these flags and run them through utility. There's a lot more cover than running it through fridge side. We'll have to see how this plays out. And honestly, that active camo top mid is going to be very game deciding on how this opening map goes.
Somebody take active camo, sit on top, see what you can do. Sing that song, see if it's one that you like. Rhett, first down right here, a little bit of trades. This kill feed looking a little bit
Almost a triple
pinstriped.
kill.
There's the initial, that is the take as well, so.
This is something Fisher does not want to see. You do not want to see Last Shot with that camo, but if he can live here, this might be huge, but they're definitely going to prioritize taking him off the map. But good play out of here.
He's sneaking, nobody knows where he's at, Ness.
It's very, very sneaky. He played forever. He's going to play off the team shots here, and that's going to be 2 down for Fisher.
It's a great start. 1 down, they lose 1 in the trade right now as
Nice
Zoom
thrust
does get
back to
finished.
keep
but
himself
yeah.
alive still.
Can't quite, was able to stay alive, couldn't quite keep it up on top of that, and then in the endeavor to get on top of that platform, maybe grab this flag, does get sniffed out. 4-1 right now is the last shot, or it's the last shot.
Yeah, I think if that unfortunate grenade doesn't come flying out of P-Door there and Last Shot lives, honestly, I think that turns into a flag run if he's able to live there and just be a complete nuisance in their base.
Now, this is a situation where you can throw that flag up there now, right? This used to be something that was like super, super difficult, but it's a little bit easier to get the momentum with which to throw that flag up from this base area in front of, what's it called? That base area where that...
we usually call it courtyard or table
right.
in the front of the flag.
Courtyard, that's right, that's right.
Yeah,
That
if you
was the
can
word I
hit
was
that
looking for.
G-slide off of the table there, you usually are able to throw the flag up and cap it. I haven't seen it too much recently, but we'll have to see if that gets brought out tonight.
Initial pull right here.
And I like this, they're running it through util. This is the traditional flag route.
This does give you a lot more capability to go for it. Ooh. Now the last shot right there, actually prioritizing the player in the back right now, right? So instead of taking cover and going after flag carrier, goes after the initial, does get it, but gets their shields completely doused in the process. Able to stay alive is Sparty, 4-1 right now. He is popping off. Macy's gets the capture, and Fisher is up 1-0.
Yeah, and it's definitely, even if you go up early in this and you go up 2-0, I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen teams be up 3-0 and then the other team completely reverse it and win 5-3. So it is really never over until either that timer runs out or 5 caps happen. And we see last shot get the camo again. Look for him to be sneaky.
Interesting stuff. We talked about how much this could be impactful. 7-3 is how they were able to spin that one. Nas gets the assist from the teammate right now, and now it's a full offensive push. 1 down here for North Georgia, 2 down here for Fisher, looking for more. That's a second. That's 3 down right now. Sparty does come back. Shots ring out over on this fridge side. Not able to finish this one up as Active Camo still is on.
I'm kind of surprised that last shot took that fight out in the open there. I would have liked to see him play towards the back of the base a little bit more. But he is the professional, I am not, so he clearly knows something that I don't.
Oh, last shot. It looks like they might have actually missed the second melee attempt right now. Not 100% sure. Lick Windows finding all the attention he was not looking forward to and gets it right back to him. Nicely done. Frag grenade from the teammate. And take a little bit off the top, tries to get this one going and drops to Lick Windows.
Yeah, and it's just back and forth right now on this util side. Just trying to take any position on the map that you can. If you can honestly get that top middle controlled, that's going to be very huge. And one thing worth noting, there is that heat wave there on the bottom mid of the map. That is actually a GA'd weapon right now, so don't look to see that used very often.
Yeah, so that's a situation, talk to the GA Gentleman's Agreement, not technically against the rules. There will not be a reset or anything else like that, but it'll be undying dishonor and the opposite of glory upon you and your family and your cow, right?
Yes.
To quote Mulan, if you do use it.
Yeah, technically either team, any of the players can pick up those weapons, but it's kind of one of those have some type of honor.
Yes,
kind of deal,
exactly.
Yes.
Honor amongst Halo players, it does exist.
That it does.
Zoom, taken down right
I thought
there.
he was gonna miss him.
Yeah, looking for a little bit more, but just had to check the corners. That's a nice pull. Daylight gonna be starting their own run down this preferred side, this utility side. That's what we're thinking, right?
Yeah, and I really like this out of Fisher. You see the 2 players there stay in UNG's base, forcing them to spawn in that fridge side, which is going to put them at a disadvantage because they really have nowhere to play but the fridge. So they're stuck in that area, and you can we see a stick out of there.
On his foot, on his
Whoa.
foot. Red gets stuck on the foot.
That's honestly pretty crucial to maybe start staggering Fisher here so UNG can build some momentum. See a couple grenades come out.
Frags, frags, and more frags. It's like a clearance store there. Lost shot, getting taken down, Sparty. The other side of that one. Little bit of pressure here against Fisher College. North Georgia is really applying it right now as we're looking at kind of like a split push right now, right? Maskey's and a teammate a little bit farther forward, now into the flag pull, toss this down.
Ooh, the little bait, but they know he's there.
Wow, yeah,
get the kill.
immediately sussed out on that one. Last couple seconds. Ooh, doesn't quite get in there, but it is gonna return in the last. So talk to me a little bit about the process of returning a flag. Now, that timer does go down regardless, but it goes faster if there's 1 or more players in it, or it's faster if there's 3 players in it, or what?
So it'll go faster depending on how many people are in, like, on the little flag zone there, and the more you have on there, the quicker it's gonna go. So ideally, in that kind of situation, if you're desperating for a flag return, you want as many people on that flag as possible.
Yep. Especially if you need that thing back fast. Now, this is, of course, once
Big
again,
team shots here.
nicely done, but Red coming out on top, 12-8 as of right now with 4 assists to boot, Nas. Now, a reminder, guys, this will be a not a best of 5. This will be 3 or 5 flag caps to win, or, of course, whoever has the most at the end. Now, talk to me about overtime if we do happen to see that.
So if both teams have the same tied amount of flags here, what will happen is the map will quote-unquote end, and it'll reset, and the teams will have, I think, about 3 to 5 minutes, and it becomes into a sudden death. Whoever gets the first cap wins. If the overtime counter runs out and nobody scores, then we just go into a double overtime and we restart the map, and they have another 12 minutes to do a sudden death flag.
Wow, okay, so possible tying capabilities here within the current iteration of your Halo series. Picking up these right now on board with Rhett. 15-8, sitting pretty added. Zoom takes a little bit of ire from his BR, but it's going to be the second player that he's more worried about. Now takes it to the bottom. Okay, so Daylight cleans up both of his trades. That's 2 down, 3 down now.
That's the first one we see tonight out of Daylight there. That's huge.
Well done, well done. Taking this, and now that is going to be Fisher right now. How much of this is coming off the back of the KD disparity, right? The best numbers on the side of North Georgia is 17 and 11. Best numbers on the side of Fisher College was at 15 and 8, just about doubling up. In fact, the worst numbers is only 10 and 12 with 9 assists to boot, almost double digits to boot. So that can definitely be excused, right? If you have that many assists and you've been cleaning up your teammates.
And there's the body disrespect that I was talking about earlier. But I think a lot of this does have to do with, you know, just the slaying capabilities on each side and UNG not having their full starting roster. But even still, they're staying in it. They're not getting wiped. They're in this fight. It's never over. Yeah,
like a wipe at this point would be it already being over. No, yes. Staying into this one, fighting to the very last is North Georgia, including Radical Rhino. 6 assists is tied for the most on the squad as well, even if they are not necessarily getting it all the way done in the killing department. And it's not like they have the most deaths either, right? They're literally tied with 2 other members.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have the most deaths on the team at all. They're trying to stay alive, which, you know, I can respect that. Like, as that type of player on your roster, that's what I tell my guys. I'm like, just stay alive as long as you can. Be an annoying kill on the map. Be a nuisance, because even if you're down, your team's down 3. If the other team doesn't know where you are or can't get a kill on you, they can't move up on the map because they can't leave you behind them.
Yeah, and there's just certain things they know they're not even going to try to attempt if you are still alive. And it might be kind of difficult to sometimes suss out, be like, oh, well, you know, that's Lick Windows specifically, Last Shot specifically, and Zoom DR specifically, and Radical Rhino specifically is the last player alive, right? That's too much game planning to try and do right there. So like you said, just play your life, be annoying, right? And even disengage if you really are not feeling it. Make him chase after you. At this point, this is a matter of time, as that's going to be another double kill for Daylight, looking for a triple. Not going to be able to find it. Radical Rhino wins a crucial one-on-one.
He gets rid of the breadstick just in time. I'm glad, you know,
yes.
you don't want to end up with a donut or breadstick. So.
No donuts, no breadsticks. We don't like our pastries on this desk.
No, I'm glad, you know, that's some momentum that he can carry going on to this match.
Hey there, that's Macy's, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Macy's, yeah. Love it, love it. We just have such awesome, like, you know, look inside some of these players, right? Look inside player cams right there. We got to see plenty of that. Now we are looking at a situation 5-0 for Fisher College on the previous here. North Georgia, unfortunately, cannot find a 1 on there. Now we'll be looking at their possible last map coming into this one, Nas.
For those power weapons, I'm playing for picks, and I'm playing for a slow progression over time and just slowly getting that hill, because if you can get that first hill, it puts you in a driver's seat for the rest of the match.
And recharge right here can be having some funky rules as well. Now, the logic would tell you is just, hey, whoever gets all of this first, right? But that's a little bit of a different story here for King of the Hill. So talk to me a little bit about how this game mode may have changed since the beginning of Halo Infinite.
I feel like, honestly, it's kind of stayed a little similar. Just granted, you know, different weapons here and there, sandbox changes. But I think, honestly, the best thing to do here is just play to get 3 or 4 dead and then get hill time. You don't want to force the hill time while the opposite team is completely up on the map.
Always going down to resources yet again. The conversation that we have revisited yet time and time again, Nas, is always maintaining your own, making the most out of them when you have to use them. Was that a stick? It was
a stick.
A glowing blue thing on your face.
I'm honestly surprised that Rhett did end up pushing out into top white there, because you saw it a little bit there. He was hesitant to go out onto the overhang and came back. He was holding down spawners and immediately opened them, and we saw North Georgia, they just completely flooded A side, so now they're able to pinch in from both sides.
They are. That pincher movement, right? Applying pressure from both sides, and it's going to be real tough to go forth and really ply anything there. Guardian Angel, a shock rifle to the feet.
I think that's the first shock rifle kill we've seen today, and this is the second map that has it in it.
That's true. Well, I think we saw one headshot from the earlier one, but it was literally the very first 3-round burst that was fired out of that thing, and there was really nothing after that one. So yeah, first hill probably going the way it will to Fisher College. Now we're going to first to 4 of these hills, correct?
Yes, first team to get 4 hills here will take the victory, and if Fisher College takes it, they will take the national championship.
Gotcha. Daylight board right now. A couple of plasma grenades to boot. I think it's just one of my favorite things to see, like as I'm casting. Like you love perfects, right? You love insane headshots, you love no scopes. You love ninjas, you like reverse plays and everything in between, like bouncing frag grenades, like they're pinball machines, right? But I think my simple favorite, it's gotta be a stick, and not just a stick, right? You can take those brute grenades and get them out of here. No, stick with a classic, classic plasma grenade.
Yes, I want to note this is a little college Halo, jokes that we have around, but USF has a player named Soap, and he's known for getting those stickies. Anytime any of these colleges play, even if they're in a situation where they got to play Fisher, even Fisher's looking out for him to get those sticks. So.
You got Sophie? What'd you?
USF Soap.
Soap. Soap, gotcha. You got soaped. You got soaped. We'll see how this team can go on into this one. Obviously, we have a active use now on board of the Mayskis. Does get it done against Radical Rhino, but he has one shot. His one shot gets my friend chasing a little bit too hard, and it's going to be a kiting action there. So talk to me a little bit about how kiting can exactly work in this one, right? You get a little bit lower, right?
Yeah, so the best way to put it here is playing off your teammates, playing on the geometry. We saw it there. I believe it was Rhett on the back silo pillar there. He honestly could have been taken out there, but just barely able to slide out and keep himself alive and allow his teammates to slide in and get that last kill is huge, because you prevent yourself from staggering and keep those spawns on the hill for your team.
I want to get into some Halo lore there, talking about strong sighting. It's a classic move. It's a classic move. Yeah, Plasma out right there. Maybe for a little bit of like sectioning off on this one. Little area denial. Frag grenade bounces, doesn't land, doesn't need it to, because Zoom is there to help out last shot.
Little jiggle peeking action there you saw from last shot, and that's kind of been the new meta here for Halo Infinite, just jiggling back and forth between the wall, which allows the person jiggling to get more damage, but you prevent the other team from taking any damage from them.
This hill has been fought over tooth and nail from these two squads. The Nighthawks over here.
The active camo is up right now.
That's true. That's true. Now easily picked up right now, utilized early.
Be interesting to see what Sparty does here, if he just kind of uses it as an aggressive or kind of just waits. It looks like he's going to wait a little bit and lives here.
A little bit of help from the teammate. Now it's just going to be a cleanup type situation from Red. Nope, you got two. Nope, I'll take three. How about that? An assist and double kill to boot. And I believe that might be the last little bit of this one to figure out this hill. No, they're not really dedicating as much resources into this one to close it out as they might need to, Nos.
Yeah, I think what Fisher's doing here is they're trying to play for the next hill, because ideally University of North Georgia, they do have time here to still get this hill. They had enough time for one more push, but knowing when it's time to give up a hill or play for the next is very crucial, because like I said, this game is very heavy on spawns, and being set up for that next hill is very crucial.
Zoom DR. We're on board with them right now. Mildly positive, looking for the 9th. Hop over. I'll take an elbow, but that's not going to be an ideal situation when they drop down, and Daylight easily going to find them. Even gets a little bit lower, no real pressure against. Third hill cap will be coming in here for Fisher College, and that will be one last before their fourth. If they take that one, then it'll be it here, Nas.
Yeah, just two more hills left here for Fisher College. This is UNG. It's now or never out of them. So I expect, last shot and Zoom to really lock in on their team here, lock in the comms, and try and get something going here. A killing spree here out of Sparty. That is definitely not going to help the situation.
Standard and expected movements from a player like Sparty, 11-4 as of right now. No kill, no Slayer team mode, none necessary to put up a 11 kill, 3 assists, and 4 death situation. Now that's going to go the way of Fisher, and it seems like the past couple of hills, Nas, have gone a lot faster than the first one.
Yeah, I think the second hill was the most back and forth we saw. I was hoping to see a little bit more nitty gritty there, as we see Daylight get the camo. And honestly, that might put the nail in the coffin here, even with the last hill just barely starting. But having all the resource control, is he gonna backsmack him?
Yeah,
backsmack.
Great backsmack action, some action across the middle, and Sparty. Okay, so a nice frag grenade to at least take down active camo member. Back and forth, last shot finds the perfect, but it is cleaned up, and the celebration is short. Frag out here for Rhett. Noticed him attention, wanted to staunch that bleeding. And quickly does. You get a tiny little bit of frag damage onto it and just pass it off to the teammate.
And I like the grenade here thrown by Lick Windows to deal damage to both teammates there, which allows his teammates to clean this up. Fisher is now at a disadvantage. They're down 3. Sparty's the only one alive. But if anyone knows what to do in this situation, it's going to be him.
Been in clutch situations 1,000 times before. Decided to go to Fisher
teammate
College
action.
to further that higher education. Absolutely love the idea and decided, hey, I'll play a little Halo while I'm at it. How about that?
Yeah, you can't, you know, you got to tip your hat at any of these guys. Why not use your skills to get a free education, you know?
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with it.
Oh, willing to take the dive off there and punching as they're plummeting to the ground. I love it. I love it. No love lost between these two teams, even if they have maybe played together before.
Yeah, for sure. It's all in good fun at the end of the day.
That
all
body
this
looked like me on that
disrespect.
couch about an hour ago while that last Valorant match was going on.
Just waiting for it to go, yep.
They just like splatted, like the Family Guy fall, you know what I'm talking about?
Or the Halo Combat Evolved Death Scene fall, just laying completely out on the ground there. Yep.
I'm telling you. That's gonna be about it though. Fisher College has done it. The writing was on the wall. They have gotten this one done 4-0 fashion after, unfortunately. It is worth mentioning one last time, I feel like. North Georgia, no full starting lineup right there. I want to give a fat shout out to Radical right there, playing on this one and giving it their damnedest, right?
Thank you for that, casters. Let's go ahead and give it up for Fisher College, your college Halo grand champions. Now, I got a couple of questions up here. Now, let's go ahead and announce it to everybody, though. How does it feel to be the grand champions?
Feels great. This is number 5, so we're going crazy here.
Going crazy. Listen, I got the lowdown. I got the word. I got the scoop. Have not dropped a single series this semester. You come into the grand finals. You blast the doors open with a 4-0 blowout. What does it take to create a team of this caliber?
Honestly, just practice. You know, it just takes a lot of practice, time, and dedication to the game. That's all it really takes. If you like your teammates, you like each other, you'll be good.
Well, yeah. Listen, we're seeing the evidence of this. We're seeing the fruits of all of your labor. Obviously, we have a trophy ready to be presented, but I got one. Yeah, I know. I gotta hold you back from it for one more second. I gotta ask you one more question. What's the future for this squad?
What's the future? Who knows? I think we're playing again next season. I don't think anybody's graduating.
All right. We're still playing. All right, I've held you back from it long enough. It is time to go ahead and present to you the NECC trophy presented by ASUS. Let's go ahead and make some noise, everyone! Your College Halo Grand Champions. We even may have a couple of words. Let's go ahead and... All right, and there you have it. One more round of applause. Fisher College. College Halo Grand Champions in a 4-0 sweep.